Hello, my friends. We're going to continue talking about Course in Miracles as I drink my tea. It is Sunday, almost 5 o'clock. I want to talk a little bit about language, about the language that the Course uses. That it took me a little while. I mentioned this before. It took me a little while to get over. As I was raised Catholic, I went to Catholic school. It was never a deep faith that we practiced at home, although my mother was a Catholic. Um, so we didn't go to church often. It was enough that we, attended a Catholic school, and it was done more so for education and not out of faith. Um, However, out of high school, I left Catholic school my second year in high school, and I largely left the Christian faith behind, not out of any type of um, animosity, not that it did any damage. I just didn't feel that it was a path for me to explore. I was sort of on the fence with it. If you would have asked me at the time, was I a Christian, I probably would have said yes, but I was certainly not a practicing Christian. And later, as my studying, as my interest in um, weird stuff, everywhere from uh, Western magic to Taoism to Buddhism, I got very much into yoga and meditation, which became a lifelong path for me. Um, my any interest whatsoever in Christianity left. Doesn't mean it didn't hold an interest, because it certainly did, because I was open to everything and every possibility. Um, and I was actually studying other faiths, especially yoga, through the teachings of Ignatius Warren, that I discovered a lot of the Christian mystics that were just never mentioned in all the years of being in Catholic school and having religion class. So by the time I got to Course in Miracles, I was open minded. However, the language did not agree with me. That it was just so heavy in Christian terms. I didn't know if I actually believed it was the voice of Jesus that was dictating the words to uh, uh, Helen Schuckman. I'm still on the fence about it. I don't know. Um, it doesn't matter. So the language doesn't matter, and it can be a bit of a struggle to get through. And who it was dictated by, what was the actual source, doesn't matter. The fact that it's a psycho-spiritual text that leads to a reconditioning of the mind, you know what? Let me take that back. It's not reconditioning, it's a deconditioning of the mind. That it's taking us from the self language of the world, of the busyness, of uh, all the stuff that we've been fed and inherited. It's deconditioning the mind to its original state. And it's doing so through the practice of forgiveness, a deep practice of forgiveness, and forgiveness in a way that I had never encountered before. So, if you're struggling through the text, if you're struggling through the workbook, it's a well worthwhile struggle. And I suggest reading some supporting books. Uh, Lots of great authors. I won't go into detail. Dive in, read them all. Um, but do so at the same time that you are actually studying A Course in Miracles. Particularly, I think, the workbook. That you can get a lot of great stuff from other authors concerning the text. And that might be an easier first step. But once you dive into the workbook, you'll see how the text itself supports the workbook. That's been my case. So a lot of terms that are very, very Christian now have a new meaning for me, such as atonement, which I talked about yesterday. And I've come to actually love that word and what it signifies um, in my own path, meaning that I am working my way towards atonement, forgiving one thing at a time, and that atonement itself isn't a far off pursuit. It's not even a pursuit at all. It's an actuality already present. And through the process of forgiveness, I am revealing the layers that only seemingly stand between me and my atonement, our atonement. As it said, that when one person reaches that awakening, the entire world reaches that awakening. This is why the Course says, do not seek to change the world, but seek to change how we see the world, how we view the world. And it comes with a practice, which I love. I know a lot of people don't. I have a lot of friends in the non-duality community who love to tell you you don't need practice. And that's probably true for them. My own experiences with awakening, especially through non-duality, sort of support otherwise. That you can get an awakening and yet still remain caught in your own mind stuff. And I see that quite often. And for me, I went out. I went out of the mind stuff, especially my own particular mind stuff. Not as escapism, not as bypassing, but through the process of meditation and yoga, you see it. You see how the kleshas, the afflictions of the mind, work, and through that awareness, it presents a large amount of freedom. But I honestly believe that it's through that practice of forgiveness that we enter fully into that spaciousness of mind. And I think a better term for that spaciousness is love, unconditional love. Through the practice of forgiveness, we finally, firmly, and completely enter into love. So, guys, that's it for today's talk. I'll see y'all later. Take care.